The fact that this deck is still number 1 means that Demon Hunter is truly a sin on Hearthstone. This meta has really put me in a weird position because there's a lot of decks that I don't necessarily want to nerf, but there's a lot of decks that were popular before these new cards were added that are still absolutely destroying a lot of people on ladder right now. And well, first and foremost, it looks like Spell Demon Hunter is not going anywhere on the ladder whatsoever, because Dreadeye actually just hit rank 1 legend, going 24-4 with this deck. And well, I mean, it's the exact same deck as before, except the only new cards we're adding into the deck are Glaivetar, which is an insane draw engine, as well as Security, which gives even more support to the Sinful Brand. So now Sinful Brand going to 2 doesn't even really matter all too much because, well, there's ways of still being able to discount it, by the way, as well as this deck just having insane damage output and just always being able to threaten you, literally no matter what your opponent is able to do. So if we take a look at the data real quick, what exactly is Spell Demon Hunter beating if we take a look at top 1000 legend? It is beating all the other Demon Hunters. It is beating Priests. It's beating Shaman, Rogue. Paladins are faltering because there's no way they can deal with the Unleash Fel combo. The only thing that's really keeping Spell Demon Hunter behind right now is, to an extent, I guess, Spooky Mage. I don't really understand that according to the data, but this is still like stuff that's coming through. And apparently Druid, Tony Druid can actually beat it because of the amount of armor that it can gain. So there are essentially 2 ways that you have to not die to Spell Demon Hunter. You have to quickly aggro them down, which is, as you can tell, very difficult because the aggro decks can't really do it. But a deck like Totem Shaman is still able to make the job happen because they have cards like Bloodlust in order to really destroy you by turn 5. So that is a possibility. So you either have to out-aggro them or you have to out-armor them. And quite literally the only deck that can do that right now is Tony Druid because of cards like a Nubricon. And if we take a look at the mulligan of the deck, this deck is really not that complicated to try and mulligan for. The best cards in your mulligan are going to be Illidari Study's Mark of Scorn, as well as Glaivetar. Because if you look at the mulligan win rate, those are the cards that are performing the best, as well as Security. So the new cards are actually the best performing cards in this deck, so I will give a little bit of credit where credit is due. But I find it very frustrating that Spell Demon Hunter is still a deck that is absolutely dominating Hearthstone as of right now. To the point where it's like, I literally started with this deck going like 3-8 on stream because unfortunately playing a deck like this is really difficult if you're not really paying attention 100%, because there's a lot of little mistakes that you can make. But in preparation for this video, because I didn't want to recommend a deck that went 3-8, I decided to, you know, spend an hour just playing, and well, I was able to round up above a 50% win rate, going to 11-10, now that I actually sat down and really paid attention to my plays, because I hate to say it, this deck is really not all too exciting to play live. It just isn't. It never will be. But there will be gameplay coming up ahead in case you guys want to actually see what's going on. Spell Demon Hunter is still extremely good. It's still, you know, an absolute menace on the ladder, and somebody was able to reach rank 1 legend, so now I can put the thumbnail as it will always be with the rank 1 legend gem in it, because that's just how the YouTube algorithm works. But in any case, that's really all there is to say about Spell Demon Hunter. It's quite literally the exact same thing. But just to go over some of the card inclusions so you guys can understand the synergies that are going on here, I imagine a lot of people are confused on why Fellerin the Forgotten makes way in this deck. Well, it's quite literally just for outcast cards, and sometimes you can get 0 mana spells in order to continue your Lady Setheno combos. But one thing that I really need to point out about this deck is actually a tweet from Ant that puts this perfectly. The biggest problem that Demon Hunters have right now is the fact that there's just really no counterplay to their big things, because if you play a big man, Sinful Brand Dej. If I play no man, Setheno Dej. If I play a lot of man, Funleash Fel Dej. But there's just not a lot of actual counterplay against Demon Hunter because they have a counter to almost everything that you can do in Hearthstone. If you summon an 8/8, then you're just going to Sinful Brand it. If they go wide on the board, you play Unleash Fel and essentially Reno Jackson back to full health. And then if they play nothing, then you just have Lady Setheno. So it's just like, and this deck is already hitting you in the face every single turn as is. So it's just like, there's a lot going on with this deck, and I believe the only reason why this deck wasn't nerfed is because Spell Demon Hunter was an archetype that was evolving right when the balance patches were about to go live. So like, I think it was literally 48 hours before the balance patch was planned, or was going to be released, this deck popped up and a lot of people were playing it. So I think it was just a case of people didn't want to play a deck from the past, and then somebody did extremely well with it, and then people just couldn't ignore how good Spell Demon Hunter was. And well, it's still insanely good right now. That's pretty much everything about Spell Demon Hunter. As I've been saying a lot throughout this video, it can seem like a simple deck, but there are some turns that are very, very complicated because order is very important. You don't want to waste any damage, and if you do something too soon while Lady Setheno is attacking, and let's say, for example, you need to trade off your 1/1s in order to get, like, the Sinful Brand combo going the way that you needed to do in order to win the game, there can be some situations to where one wrong click can literally throw an entire game. So I think that's going to be one thing that maybe will spare this deck from the wrath of any nerfs. But if you want my honest opinion, I think this deck needs to be nerfed because of its play pattern. This is one of those decks where it's going to be extremely good if it keeps getting any more spells, and Demon Hunter's going to keep getting spells. But this is one of those things to where I hate playing against this because almost every turn I make feels like I'm just playing into their combo. And decks like that, Hearthstone, are historically going to be the first decks to get nerfed, especially if they're really good. And I still think that Spell Demon Hunter is literally the best deck in the game right now. But don't forget, guys, if you do enjoy this kind of content, feel free to like this video and subscribe to the YouTube channel to be notified about any of our future updates. Thank you so much for making it to the end of this video. We'll see you for the next one. What are my thoughts on the big Demon Hunter list going on around right now? There are better Demon Hunter lists. It's the new fun deck, so people are obsessed with it, with trying to make it look good, but at the same time, you're only going to get so many wins with it. Like, when Spell Demon Hunter exists, that deck doesn't exist in the vacuum, in my opinion. Like, when this deck exists, like, you just can't lose the, like, Big Demon Hunter isn't going to be able to win more games against more matchups than this deck, you know? So, like, it's a legitimate deck if you're going up against, like, aggro and whatnot. But I believe in, like, top legend, it gets strictly worse. Maybe you can climb 2 legend with it, but I feel like it's a deck that mostly catches people off guard. Because there's just a lot of Demon Hunter decks right now, you know? Gotta move myself a little bit so we can see the Jotaro. Alright, there we go. That's going crazy.
I grow impatient.
Job done.
Alright, so we got Scythe. This is probably the most point-and-click deck ever. And the only way that you can really play around it is by playing around, like, double Sinful Brand Fladori combo. But since I can double Sinful Brand Fladori as well as play Security, if my opponent plays anything big, it's just gonna go bye-bye. Alright, so we'll just do this. I really don't even have that many Outcast cards right now, so maybe we just throw out the Scythe in order to just throw the damage. But, I mean, I'm not particularly liking it. Joe Rogan leans back with his mouth open while casters go batshit crazy. I mean, hey, man, like, reactions are important. Reactions are important. If you're not reacting, then what? Like, there's nothing excitable happening, yeah? Okay, so we have double Sinful Brand, double Fladori. This is already kind of insane. So yeah, we just do this, hit him in the face. Do that again, play Glaive. You can literally throw out one of the combos. But I wonder if that's what you're not... I wonder if you're supposed to do that or not. Okay. 8, 12, 12, 16. Jeez, dude, this is insane. Oh, I should have played this first, technically. Should have swung there, played that. Yeah. Okay, whatever. It's fine. One less draw isn't going to be the end of the world, but I'm probably just going to win this game in the next 2 turns anyway. Because I can Sinful Brand, knock that out, deal a whole bunch of damage. Maybe they... Oh my god, dude. This is just not fair. Like, actually analyzing what's going on here, and this is just not fair. So, step 1. Mean, dude, this is not okay. This even with like a... Okay, if he plays Vampiric Blood, is he even gonna be able to outlast this? If he plays 5/5, he doesn't even gain the armor. And he pretty much gives me lethal in response. Like, which one is the problem here? Is it Sinful Brand or is it Fladori Warband? Dude's trying to find some answer, but dude, all I did was just do the combo twice. I didn't even draw, really. I played 1 Spectral Sight and 1 Mark of Scorn. Buff the Sight to draw 1 Bound Soul when you equip the weapon, because Demon Hunter needs more buffs. I mean, in some situations, drawing it immediately isn't actually good. You know the deck I'm playing, mate. Why would you do that? Wait. Hold on a second. Sinful Brand, deal 8, 10. It's technically not lethal, actually. Wait, no, it might be. Hold on. No, this is lethal. God, this deck is toxic, dude. This deck is just super toxic, man. Like, yeah. I needed to double check it. I was focusing too much on getting the weapon to face, but I mean, the weapon was getting to face one way or another. Like, when I find a deck to be so boring, I can't play it properly. I don't know what it is. It's just my ADHD tendency, I guess. But oh my god, man, like when I find a deck to be boring, I don't play it well. Because I just do the first thing that comes to mind because I don't want to look at it anymore. But at the same time, this isn't like the worst deck to be playing right now in terms of like fun capabilities. Alright, here we go. Full tryhard mode initiated. Bury the light. It's time to bury the light. Tell you, man, I told you I was adding it to the playlist. Alright, here we go. But yeah, 10 reps for 10 pounds. Alright. Draw a card. Probably Glaive on turn 3 because we already have Eldar and we can just pump it up. Yeah, exactly, 100 pounds, mate. 100 pounds. Don't forget to mix up with something like overhead tricep extension. Otherwise, muscle balance and soreness are guaranteed. Try to engage my tries. The only thing I'm worried about, like, doing this with 10s is like, yeah, tricep soreness is worse than bicep soreness, so I disagree. I am also fat, so there's that. Well, luckily for me, I want to feel the burn. I actually want to feel the burn. Oh, this guy's playing big? This guy's playing big? We're gonna make him regret playing big. The big mistake to play big.
If 3 rights make a land.
Just like that, it's unnerved. It's unnerved, dude. It's looking pretty good for Lady, but I don't think we win with doing a Lady combo yet.
Our gift of the arcane enlightens us.
Someone tell your opponent to cut Treasure Guard. Drekthar isn't a thing anymore. He's doing it because it draws a card and it's a way of playing defensively. I don't think it's necessarily incorrect to do that, but I do agree that it... Like, I see Treasure Guard and I'm like, oh, I already won the game. I already won. It's already GG, dude. Like, look at this. Look at this right here. I already won. This is 7, 10. Oh my god, dude. I don't even need freaking Fladori Warband. I kind of wish I had the other security, but... Wow. I said I didn't need it. I said that I didn't need it, dude. I said that I didn't need it. Full BM, dude. Full BM, man. Show him just how dead he actually was. Oy, dude. This deck is turn 6, by the way. I don't even know how much damage that was overkill, but that was definitely not okay. This is why I don't like this deck. It does that way too much.